So, how much does an alarm system cost? If you've ever seriously wondered about having an alarm system installed, that's almost certainly going to have been your first and biggest question, is how much will it actually cost to have one installed? It was probably the first video that we ever recorded on the subject way back in 2021. So I think it's probably worth revisiting that subject today. Watch on to find out more. This is the most important factor for many people when they're considering having an alarm system installed. Obviously, I can't give you a definitive price for a system for your home. There's so many different variables involved, but what I can do is to give you an overview of what goes into making up an alarm system price. First factor is quality of system. There are basically two types of system. There are ones which you install yourself, which you can buy from a DIY superstore or an online merchant. And then there are professionally installed systems from companies such as ourselves. If you've not got a huge amount of money, then it may be worthwhile for you to get a DIY system. They tend to be cheaper for the cost of the components. That's because they tend to use older technology and they use lower quality components, and of course you save on the installation cost, the actual kind of labour cost, if you like, of installing the system. And like I say, if that's all you've got, then fine, something is better than nothing. The problems that you tend to find as well with those systems is that they last not quite so long because they're lower quality components. Their shelf life isn't quite so long, and you'll often find as well, because the superstores and the online merchants' primary factor themselves is price. When they find something else on the market which is cheaper to them, then they'll drop out the system that you bought, replace it with this new system, and you might find that replacing components, replacing sensors on a DIY system becomes a bit problematic. There is one particular company that we know of who we started installing their systems a number of years ago, stopped again after about a year, but they're on their fourth different system type since we installed their systems. With a professional quality system, technology is newer, components are of greater quality, and you get a much greater chance of being able to update and replace sensors as they fail, which, sensors will always fail. With our systems, we've only within the last 2-3 years had to stop servicing the systems that we were installing 15 to 20 years ago because the manufacturers have only just discontinued the components and the wholesaler stocks are starting to run out. So that's kind of factor one. Factor two is what you want your system to do, how extensive a system you need. With a small 2-bedroom terraced house, your requirements are a lot less than a 5-6 bedroom detached house in the countryside. So that's kind of the one thing to think about, is how many different sensors and detectors you're going to need, and then what other facilities you want. With, for instance, with a mid-range system, you can have sensors with stills cameras built in, so that when the alarm goes off, it takes a series of stills so that you can see if there's someone in your house. You can also these days get systems which include proper CCTV in them, and taking that to an even greater degree, you can have a system these days which not only integrates cameras, but it can also integrate door locks and things like thermostats and lighting and other electrical equipment. So to give you an idea of kind of basic price, if you were to have one of our systems installed, just the most basic system without too many components, then you'd be looking at around kind of £600-ish. If you wanted to go for a mid-range system with the stills cameras built in, you may be looking at 800-900, maybe 1,000. And if you wanted to go for the all singing, all dancing system, then even kind of a basic one of those that you add on to later, then you'd be looking maybe £1,200 to £1,400, something like that. What we have done recently is to build a pricing estimator, which you can find on our website. I'll put the link in the comments to this video. You can go on there, get a rough idea of a price, and if that's interesting, you can take it further. If not, look at something lower down the pricing scale. If you found this video helpful, it would be really helpful to us if you could like or follow or subscribe to us on your favourite social media platform. Thank you.